Hello everyone, Stormy Strike here, and in this video we're going to be looking through the BreyerFest 2019 program, which was just put on the Breyer website the other day. I have seen a good portion of it already, but I tried not to look through necessarily all of it. I know there's not really a whole lot of surprises in here, except there are a couple live auction models that we haven't seen yet, and a new stablemate set, but I'm not going to be talking too much about those because I'm going to be talking more about all that in my next video, which will be my opinions on all the different BreyerFest models. So I'm going to try and not get too much into my opinions on the models yet until that video. But I do want to go through this program and point out possibly anything interesting or new that just is of any interest. I don't know. Anyway, here is the actual cover of the program. And by the way, these programs are actually going to be printed out, and you can get them at BreyerFest as well. But this digital version is just for like ahead of time, so you can know what to expect, what the program will look like. So let's go ahead and go through this thing. We'll be zooming into different areas and stuff. So here is Welcome to BreyerFest 2019, and it just has the kind of like general blurb about BreyerFest and different guidelines as well. So, of course, the different things about horses have right of way. Remember to drink plenty of water. It also says on here to use the hashtags BreyerFest and BF2019 and My Breyer Story on social media. On the side, it has the table of contents. And this is a BreyerFest photo scavenger hunt. I know they've done little BreyerFest scavenger hunts before, many times, pretty much every year. And this one, I guess you take a picture of yourself with the little Ricky Rocker signs that are going to be placed around the park. And then you can bring it says bring your map and photos back to the help and info booth for your prize. But I've heard that last year the prize, whatever, I don't know what it was, if it was just like a little stablemate or something, but I've heard that like the actual prize is not that exciting. This would be probably a fun thing to do if you don't have anything else left to do at BreyerFest and you want something else to do, or I don't know, I think it would be fun. I don't think I usually have time to try and do this little scavenger hunt thing, but I would like to try to do it maybe some year and just see how that experience is and what exactly you get for the little prize. Now we'll move over to the page of the special runs here, and they actually have their quantities and prices now, which I know is something a lot of us are anxiously waiting to find out, is the exact prices of these models and how many are going to be made. So Banner is a run of $865. Bucky, the doggo, is a quantity of 800 and is $55. Diana is a quantity of $1,870. Pepper is quantity of 1,545 for $65. Natasha is a limited quantity of 1,650 and she is $60. Quill is a limited quantity of 1,680 and is $65. Rocket is a limited quantity of 1,725, and he is 65. I'm sorry if I'm reading off numbers weird. And lastly is the Hero's Welcome Surprise, which is a limited quantity of 6,250, and that is $85. We're going to put a little hold up here because I want to see the quantities that the BreyerFest models were last year, just out of curiosity. I know their prices are pretty much the same as they usually are, but I am curious about the quantities because Breyer does usually up the quantities up each year. But it looks like this year maybe they actually didn't. So last year the BreyerFest decorator was 800 and the animal was 750. This year the decorator is still a limited quantity of 800. The dog is 800 as well, so a little bit more than the animal special run was for last year. The Dark Horse Surprise, the surprise horse last year, was a quantity of 4,000, and this year the surprise is a quantity of 4,250. So they did raise it up again, which is what I was expecting they would probably do, because they've been raising it up every year. As for the other special runs, let's see, last year Dead Heat was 1,800, Straight Bet was 1,600, Julep and Pim were 1,700, Sarah Rose was 1,450. Bio-Nose was 1,400. And on here, it actually looks like, besides the decorator and the animal model, all the quantities of these guys are pretty high. Pepper is the lowest one, it looks like. Again, besides the decorator and the animal, we're going to exclude those for a minute while we look at the other quantities here. So Pepper is 1,545, and she is the lowest one. All these other ones are at least 1,600 runs, though. So Natasha is a limited quantity of 1,650. And then next up looks like it's Quill of 1,680. Then Rocket of 1,725. And then the one that's the most, besides the surprise horse, is actually Diana. So I'm guessing she's not going to be super hard to get. I mean, it depends how popular she is. But because there are so many of her, she might be one of the ones that doesn't sell out as quickly. Rocket might sell out pretty quickly, but his quantity is pretty big, so I don't know if he's going to sell out really fast in the special run times either. I don't know which ones are going to end up actually like selling out first in the special run line. It'll be interesting to see. And again, their prices are pretty consistent with what they normally are. 60, 65. Actually, most of the special runs are 65 this year. 4 of them are 65. 160, 155, 170, and of course the surprise for 85. So that's why when people ask me how much do special runs cost, I'm going to tell you that the average is 65 because 4 of these special runs this year are 65. Alright, now we're going to be going on to the store specials. So looking at the ones from last year, their prices are going to be pretty much the same. Store specials for the past couple years have been 70 and 75. Which is a little high in my opinion. I do miss when they had the store specials for like 50 and 55. But the quantities last year were 1,250 and 1,700. But this year their quantities are actually quite a bit lower, it looks like. Let's zoom in here on the store specials. So Hall is only a quantity of 1,250. Rico's only 1,000, and Zip and Black Magic is only 1,000. That's quite a bit less than last year then, because Old Ironsides was 1,250, and Ichabod Crane was 1,700. There's not even a store special this year that is as high as that. I'm a little surprised, since normally they've been upping their quantities on everything. And I'm sorry this video is like becoming an analysis of BreyerFest patterns, but I just think it's super interesting. So the quantities of the store specials have actually went down instead of up. And I think the reason for this is because they've been like not selling out of the store specials. Last year I went to the Breyer store on Sunday and they still had tons and tons and tons of Ichabod Crane and of Old Ironsides. So maybe because they haven't really been selling out as much, they are lowering the quantities of the store specials a bit. Which is kind of interesting. It makes me wonder though, because I know Howl is going to be really popular this year. I wonder if he's going to end up selling out at all, or if not, if there's still plenty enough to go around. Alright, let's go ahead on to the next 2 pages here. So on here, on the left side, it has 2019 Celebration Horse Oliver. He is so cute. I don't think they show his quantities on here. No, they do not have his quantities. So there's the section about wonderful Oliver, and also has his autograph times at the stables. Then here's the single day ticket models, which we've already seen. On this other page, it talks about the guest performers. So there's the RCMP musical ride, Sylvia Zerbini. Oh, I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Thomas Garcilaso, and the Trixie Chicks are all going to be at BreyerFest. Now on these 2 pages are actually all about the portrait models. As you can see, there's actually going to be a lot of guest horses this year. I feel like this is a lot of guest horses. Breyer usually has a lot of guest horses at BreyerFest, but this year it just does feel like a lot. So of course Oliver, and then Hall, Rico, Zipped in Black Magic, Dominante, Patrick the Mini Horse, Latigo Dunnett, Bilky Wilson and Kentucky, Buckeye, Truly Unsurpassed, and the RCMP. And then also King from the Trixie Chicks. Then here's the actual autograph schedule, and it looks like pretty much every half hour on every day there's going to be autographs. So lots of opportunities to get a model autographed by these horses' owners. On to the next pages here. So we got some more fun things to analyze and talk about in a minute, but here's the Annex ring schedule. So this is I'm trying to remember what ring this is. We'll look at it on the map in a minute when we get to that page. But there's going to be the Retired Racehorse Project, Vicky Wilson. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm really sorry. But a clinic, a trick riding clinic, and packstring clinics. I watched a little bit of the trick riding clinic last year at BreyerFest, and it was pretty cool to see. So now let's move on to the pop-up shop stuff here. So the thing that I'm finding most interesting is, we did get one more new item for the pop-up shop, which is the 10-piece Celebration Horse Miniatures 2010 to 2019 anniversary set, which is really cool because Breyer did an anniversary stablemate set before. Kind of this same deal. I don't remember when. It was quite a while ago now, though. So it's really cool that they're doing this again because I know a lot of people are already really excited about it. It is a limited quantity of $2,060. But also the pop-up shops is the RCMP Musical Ride Classic, the Sarge Little Decorator Stablemate, who's going to be a quantity of $2,010, and the Classic is a quantity of $1,000 at $30. And then there's Defiant, the Crystal Horse, which is a quantity of $750, which I don't know if that was less or more than last year. We'll look at last year's stuff in a second. But that Crystal Horse is $45, which is the usual, I'm pretty sure, for the crystals. And then there's the Oliver Plush, who is a quantity of $1,000, which I feel like, is that less than last year? That's a fairly good amount, but again, I feel like the quantities on some of this stuff has actually been lowered this year, because I think they just made too much last year. But the Oliver Plush is going to be $18, and then there's, of course, the other BreyerFest swag. There's t-shirts. There's going to be 2 different bags here, which are pretty cool. One with the logo for this year's BreyerFest, and then one for the 30th anniversary with all the celebration horses on it. There's also a hat and a little mug. All kinds of cool stuff. What I want to mention real quickly before I forget is I am surprised that there is not an autograph model again this year, because last year they had the Adios model, and he was like an autograph model, and I really liked that model, and I thought it was a really good idea for Breyer to put out these fairly cheap Breyer models to be used as autograph models. And I'm kind of sad that they're not doing that this year. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be announced or anything, because on the blog they did say that the little stablemate set was the last thing to announce about for BreyerFest, besides more of the live auction models maybe. So I am kind of disappointed this year that we're not going to get another signing model. My guess is they just did not sell well enough last year, because I know when I went to the little pop-up store on Sunday, the table was just absolutely filled with the autograph models. So I'm guessing they probably just didn't sell as well, so they didn't do them again this year. I hope they bring them back at some point, though. But I'm guessing they just didn't sell as many as they were hoping for, or whatever the case may be. Let's go ahead and take a minute here and just see what the differences in these quantities are compared to last year's BreyerFest for the pop-up store. One thing also new for this year's BreyerFest pop-up store is that they don't have a Decorator Classic this year. They've had a Decorator Classic inside the pop-up store for a few years now, but my guess is that those have also just not been selling as well, so this year they were going to go ahead and go with a portrait kind of classic model instead. And this model is a little bit less. I know last year the classic was $1,500, and again, I think they had a lot of leftover classic models that I don't think sold super well, so that's why they're kind of doing a bit lower quantities. Oh, they actually did. I thought they did. They did end up lowering the quantity of the plush as well. Last year it was $1,500. Now it's only $1,000. But I seriously think part of the reason this stuffed animal last year did not sell well is because he's kind of meh to me. I don't think he was really a favorite for most people. I feel like the Oliver plush is going to sell a lot better this year because he's really cute and really soft and he's got a little cape and everything. I think he's going to sell super well. Last year I was not surprised that this guy did not sell well because they made so many of him and I'm not really a fan of his design. But I am curious to see if the plush is going to sell out this year though because of this one just being a lot cuter and a little bit less of him made. So the crystal, they're actually lowering the quantity of the crystal too. I'm like super just a little surprised that they lowered the quantities on so many things. But the crystal last year was 1,000 made, and this year it's 750 made, which is a little bit more than usual they do for the crystal. So again, there were leftovers of this crystal horse last year when I went into the store on Sunday. Like a lot of leftovers of pretty much everything. Again, I think that's why they're lowering the quantities is because they're not selling as quickly and as in high demand as they were expecting. For the stablemate, it was quantity of 3,000 last year. This year, they took it down by 1,000. It's a quantity of 2,000 this year. Again, I'm not entirely surprised because they just made a lot last year. It felt like a lot of stuff was made. Here's the autograph horse. I'm really sad they're not doing one this year. But they did a quantity of 2,000 of them last year. And I can see, I think they just made a little too many. And that's probably why they didn't sell super as well as they thought they were going to. I know they did sell though. I saw a lot of people had this guy being signed by different people and stuff. So I do think it's a really good idea. I think Breyer should definitely think about doing that again next year. I know I personally love this model too. Like, he's super duper cute, even like just as a regular model, not even as a signing model. He's just adorable. So I hope they would do that again next year, but we'll see. Alright, we'll go ahead and move back on through the program here because there's a lot to get through and I'm already probably spending way too much time talking about this, but I hope you guys maybe find it interesting to kind of see like the patterns and stuff because I am surprised that some things have went down in quantity when they've been lately going up in quantity every year. But anyway, here's an ad for Great Lakes Congress, which is like a model horse show, is that right? And then on the other side of the page is stuff about the Celebration Park, which actually is really fun. I suggest you check out the Celebration Park if you haven't really been over in that area. It's like kind of to the right of the covered arena, and you walk over like kind of a bridge little thing, and it's fun. So the Super Dogs are going to be back with the Water Bark. That was a really fun show. I know we're going to definitely be seeing that again this year. There's also the Cincinnati Circus. And the circus performer people usually are walking around and stuff too. They're not just in that particular area. And the Civil War reenactment tent. That sounds really cool. I can't wait to check that out as well. There actually used to be a Civil War reenactment thing at the park I live right nearby. But because it just became a little bit too unsafe for the horses, the ground was just a little too unsteady, and they didn't want any accidents with the horses, they stopped doing that because the ground was just not good enough. But I was kind of sad that they don't do the Civil War reenactment at the park near me anymore because it was a really cool experience. So I'm excited to see the tent thing here, though, at BreyerFest. So they also have the kids jump off. So kids, you can have a competition, feel like you're a horse jumping over jumps and stuff. I think that's a fun event for kids. And then also Dino Digs. That was there last year as well. You can dig in the sand and look for some dinosaur bones, and they'll probably have a little dinosaur tent thing up again, or they had some kind of replicas of fossils up and some collect a dinosaur toys and different things like that. They're kind of neat to check out. And on the next stuff here, we're going to be getting into the schedule in a moment. But here is the all-day activities. So the covered arena, of course, there's stuff going on all the time at the covered arena. And it talks about the silent auction and the raffle. The Visitors Information Center, which is also fun. It's where the seminars take place and also the films they're going to be showing on Sunday. They also have the live auction models on display and the diorama contest, which I highly recommend checking out because I think it's really cool to see everyone's entries in the diorama contest. And then the Celebration Park mentions some more things from the previous page. There's the carousel, a petting zoo, pony rides, and of course food. And then there's the craft and activity area where there is stablemate painting and magic shows, face painting, and jugglers. And of course, the model horse shows at the North Expo Hall of the Alltech Arena. So the open show is on Friday and the youth and children's show is on Saturday. Now over here is the schedule for Friday. We're not going to go through everything because obviously that'd be a little much. But you can get an idea of when all the different performances are going to be. I know I'm definitely going to be really looking at this to figure out what shows I want to see and what times I'll be able to make them to. And then of course on Friday night is the Artisans Gallery and Swap Meet, and the Best Customs Contest models are on display. And that is at the Clarion Hotel, 7:30 to 11 p.m. The costume contest is also that evening, and one of the Celebration of Horses shows. Go to the next page, because here's the other two schedules for Saturday and Sunday. Again, we won't really go too in-depth on this. There's so many shows and things to do, it's hard to do everything at BreyerFest in like 1 year. There's just so much. So at the end of Saturday, they have the diorama contest winners and raffle drawing, and then they have the live auction, which is the first time it's been on Saturday for a long time. It's normally on Friday, and normally the costume contest is on Saturday. And then the Celebration of Horses show is at the Alltech Arena again on Saturday night. Then, of course, you can do room shopping at the Clarion Hotel and check out the Artisans Gallery. And then, lastly, on Sunday, more shows and things to do until the sad closing ceremonies. At the bottom here, it has more stuff about the Clarion Hotel again. Oh, here's actually our map. Ooh, this map's looking a little rough. So this is the horse park. So here's what all the little different symbols on this map means. I'll walk you through it on here too, though. So this is the parking lot right here where you see all those P's in the gray. That is the parking lot area. Then the two little green shuttle things there are the shuttle stops. And then right there in the middle with the blue is the ticket booth thing. And so you can walk up here down this lane. On the left is the Kentucky Horse Park Police Barn. At the top here is the covered arena, and the little question mark is the little information stablemate handout thing. And right around there is where I'm going to be doing the little old school YouTube meet thing. The Collectors Club tent is on the right there, which you can't really see, but it's that purple little seal thing. And this is the area where the social media meet is going to be on Saturday at 1 to 2 p.m. This little yellow thing is one of the places for the pop-up shop things, but it's not like the big main one, it's like the little secondary one. The big main one is on the upper right here, that red symbol thing. That's the main pop-up shop tent area thing. And between those, you can see there's the hobby booth, and then this is also the celebration park down here with the super dogs, the carousel, another tram stop, and the food. Go up here, behind the covered arena is the Annex Arena. There's going to be some food there, and this is also where the demo things, the clinic things are going to be going on. The craft and activity tent is on the left of that. The little brown bars there with the horseshoe is the barns of the horses. You can walk by and visit those. Those horses in the front are like all the different guest horses going to be at BreyerFest. And the little pin with the yellow and the little white there, that's where they do the autographs. And on the right, there is a first aid and another transit stop and another one behind the barns. Oh, and then over here is actually, I guess is this where the silent auction's gonna, the live auction, not silent auction, I'm losing my mind. The live auction is gonna be in that place. I actually haven't really been there before, so I'm gonna maybe try to go over there for the live auction this year. We'll see. There's more horses you can look at over in those barns. And then the big barn over here is where the workshops are gonna be. And then I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the special runs. The special runs are to the left of the covered arena where they were last year. And so you line up for the special runs right where it says special runs, and then the tent where you actually purchase your special runs are where that tent is. And things. Oh, there's the Alltech Arena. They have a picture of it there. You can see some horses apparently over there too. There's the shuttle stops. And then there's another little section of the pop-up store in there. I'm really sorry, this video is probably going to be insanely long when I'm done with it. We'll try to get through it a little quicker here. Okay, so this is all the events by locations. So we probably don't need to go through all that. But it's all on there to look through. BreyerFest Military Tribute is going to be daily in the covered arena. So that's going to be really cool. Then there's a page on the BreyerFest Seminars and Films. Next here is the BreyerFest workshop schedule, which I believe by the time this video comes out, the signups for workshops are actually going to be closed. But there's, what time your workshops and stuff are going to be. Then the Artisans Gallery and Swap Meet on here. So they have listed all of the artists that are going to be at the Artisans Gallery, which is really cool. I recommend checking it out. All these artists have tables set up, and then there's also the best custom contest horses on display. And I'm assuming the Breyer models are going to be on display again too. They usually put their BreyerFest models on display so you can see them before BreyerFest. But lots of talented horse artists are going to be there. Then here's some more ads actually. There's an ad for the Cloud Foundation and for a thoroughbred breeding farm and Imagine Equine. And I mentioned this in a BreyerWest video. It's a new equine magazine. There's the page with all the BreyerFest beneficiaries. Then the live and silent auctions. We'll take a minute to look at these because there are some new stuff on here we haven't seen quite yet, unless you've already looked through the program. So the live auction and the silent auction, of course, and then some more on the silent auction lots, though. That's what's going to be interesting here. We already saw the carousel horse and the basket for the Retired Racehorse Project, but they will also have a silent auction for the 2 best custom contest prize models. Let's go down here actually and see what else is going on here. So one of the lots is El Dragon, a custom jousting caparison set with a one-of-a-kind model. That sounds really cool. I'm surprised Breyer doesn't have a picture of that on here. The third lot is set of the Heroes Welcome Surprise models. So that's the surprise horse. It's going to be a complete set. And I don't know if they're going to be matte or glossy. It doesn't say, which maybe they're going to be matte. I don't know. It'll probably be glossy. They seem to mostly be doing the glossy sets now. Oh, and again, there is a test model for the Heroes Welcome Surprise, which is super interesting because there was a test model for the Dark Horse Surprise last year in the silent auction. Although this time it does not say it's a decorator, though. Lot number 5 is Design Your Own Breyer model. That's usually in every one. There's a BreyerFest Marketplace gift basket for lot number 6. Lot number 7 is a Dominante gift basket. Number 8 is a Salute to Horse Heroes vendor pack. Number 9 is the Patrick gift basket, which actually has been already posted on social media. There's another BreyerFest Marketplace gift basket. Number 11 is a glossy Out of the Blue test model. Oh, that's interesting. Number 12 is a hero-themed etched model. Number 13 is a pastel full painting. Number 14 is a signed Cloud portrait model with the Cloud's Legacy model set, so that's number 14 there. Then, and again, the Retired Racehorse gift basket and the Best Custom Contest prize models. And then there's just the raffle models. And then on this page is some more live auction models, some of which we haven't seen yet that Breyer has posted on the BreyerFest blog and such. So these will be on display at the Visitors Center, and then the bidding for them will be at the live auction on Saturday. I was almost going to give my opinions on these guys, and then I remembered, wait, I'm doing a different video just for that. So you'll hear my opinions on all the different models in the next BreyerFest video, probably. Here's another ad. This is for the Sianta. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But this Sianta, I don't know how you pronounce it. But it's a company that makes artist resin models. And then here's another helpful map. Well, helpful, I don't know, because of these really hard to read. It's a little easier, I think, on the actual printed program, but on the PDF one, it's kind of hard to read the different numbers at the bottom here. But this is the map of the covered arena, actually inside the covered arena. The very right is the Celebration Model Horse handout. There's a bunch of vendors. And then on the left is the Breyer store. At the bottom is the Breyer booth in the middle there. And so on. Lots of vendors and such. And you can see the list of vendors here. Lots and lots of different vendors that are going to be at the BreyerFest covered arena this year. And that is it. Oh my goodness, thank goodness. I was about to lose my voice here. I'm sorry if this video ended up being really long and kind of boring, but this is kind of a reaction video. Kind of just me talking about and analyzing stuff in the program. I don't know. But lastly, on the back of the page here is just an ad for the Celebration of Horses show. And also a little blurb for the costume contest. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining me in this long video of looking through the BreyerFest program. I hope you enjoyed, and keep an eye out for the next couple last BreyerFest videos I'm going to have out very soon. And don't forget to check out my other BreyerFest videos if you want to get as much BreyerFest content as possible. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone!